Hey guys, I wanted to apologize. I was wrong. I realized I didn't mention the atheist side of things. I mentioned the Christian side of things, but not the atheist perspective. I thought I should do that. Not to be politically correct or anything, but to be as unbiased as possible and explain where I'm coming from. I see both sides of the story, which is what being a devil's advocate means. Sorry, I had to move my jerky. Anyways. So to explain to atheists what I'm talking about, there's a verse in the Bible that says not to drink blood, which makes sense since it's toxic. If the person or animal is infected with anything, then obviously the blood is unsafe to drink. But the Jehovah's Witnesses have taken this verse to the extreme, so much so that they consider blood transfusions taboo. Jehovah's Witnesses often refuse blood transfusions, even if it's their own blood. It's still a big problem despite medical advancements. They do accept some blood products, but those are those are few and far in between. They don't even accept organ transplants unless the organ has been drained of blood beforehand. The death toll is in the thousands because of these factors. You see, I used to listen to Bible studies with Mom because she got so lonely because she was too sick to leave the house because of chemo. I've talked about this in earlier videos. And as you know, this is hard to talk about because it was a bad part of my life. I wasn't there for as much as I should have been. I wasn't there for any reconstructive surgery. I didn't think I could handle seeing my mother in that much pain. I knew it would break my heart, and I was already going through a lot of depression at that time. But I was there for her in other ways. You see, the side effects of chemo are always worse after the actual chemo treatment. So that was when she had the most symptoms. I was the one that held her hair back when she'd puke. I'd help her make it to the toilet. I'd help her get dressed and make her food and talk to her when she got lonely and stuff. I'd take her temperature to make sure she didn't have a neutropenic fever again. She doesn't remember much of this because the chemo gave her chemo brain. But I'm not sure if the verse about drinking blood still holds true now that we have ways to disinfect it first and stuff. Sometimes I think God was talking about that crazy lady on my strange addictions who drink the blood of humans and animals. But as I said, I don't agree with the Jehovah's Witnesses taboo on blood transfusions, since a blood transfusion pretty much saved Mom's life since her white blood cell count went down and her white blood cells all died because of the chemo. She never got neutropenic fevers after the outpatient chemo that she got at Good Samaritan, though. But I'd sit with her making sure she didn't have a fever. Anyways, back to the Jehovah's Witness thing. As I talked with them more and more, I noticed inconsistencies. Jehovah's Witnesses were good people. But if they were such good people, then why would they believe in something so dangerous? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't believe or agree with those idiots who call Jehovah's Witnesses a cult, but I disagree with their belief against blood transfusions and their dislike for crosses and crucifixes. Now, next up, I'm going to talk about the Black Lives Matter group and all the protests that have been going on. I know you didn't ask for my opinion, but damn it, I'm talking about it anyway. A lot of people have made videos about it, and I might as well hop on the bandwagon. Everyone else has made plenty of videos about it. For example, in a live stream by TJ Kirk, I saw them pin a 10-year-old to the ground for carrying a cell phone. I've seen people tear-gassed, gunned down, arrested without due process, and run over by police cars. But on the flip side, I've also seen Antifa storming the streets with guns, causing problems and chaos, breaking down buildings, and smashing windows left and right. The audience was screaming and crying in both cases. Honestly, in my opinion, both sides are wrong. I stand with peaceful protesters first and foremost, but the cops have been trying to cover this up. Like, all of it. The reason they've been arresting people for having cameras is because they know what they're doing to the protesters is wrong, and they're trying to cover it up. Not to mention, Trump is so afraid of losing that he's suppressing voting, which is completely against our rights, and it's so childish and stupid. The country is already in ruins because of the coronavirus, and people aren't happy about it. It's happened in the 1930s, and it's happening again. The stock market is crashing, and they estimate that the unemployment rates will be higher than they were in the 1930s, thanks to this stupid virus and the stay-at-home order we had a while ago. Jobs that were looked down on are now counted as essential. People keep getting laid off and fired. People get kicked out of public buildings for not wearing a mask. People have been kicked out of stores, assaulted, and not to mention harassed. Not long ago, in LA, a woman threw hot coffee at a man for not wearing a mask. She attacked him. She was slapping him and tore his shirt to pieces, and he couldn't even defend himself because she was a woman. So it was frowned upon for him to hit her back. Personally, I think he should have sprayed her with pepper spray. Honestly, if we're talking about equality here, that includes the right to fight off an attacker, whether it be male or female. And yeah, I think he should have fought her off. But the whole world is in chaos. And people are just idly sitting by and watching it happen. I don't know what to do at this point. How can I make any difference at all? I feel so powerless. This is why I created a YouTube channel in the first place, to give myself a voice. I felt like I was screaming, but no one could hear me. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not just saying that the world fell to ruins all of a sudden. I mean, it's happened before. In the words of Marilyn Manson, the world hasn't gotten worse, it's just gotten more televised. Now, people in the healthcare field are scared for their lives. YouTubers like W. Emo, Dr. Mike, and Mama Dr. Jones have all made statements about this pandemic, and I stand with them. But I also don't agree that, but I feel like no one should be physically harmed for refusing to wear a mask. I mean, this virus is only 3.7% deadly. The whole situation is overblown, and people need to realize that. Like, I get it, people are scared, but people are always scared. And like I said, it's not like Ebola where you got a 50% shot of survival. The survival rate is 97%. And yet people are making way too big of a deal about it. They shut everything down, they close schools, and it's just not right. Like, we need to do something about this. Please. I'm telling you. Anyone that can make any difference at all, please. Do what you can. Someone, please, come up with a vaccine so we can get back to our lives and we can stop talking about this coronavirus thing. It's been talked about to death. Like, I swear, we're beating a dead horse here. Like, the whole country should not have been shut down just because of a virus that's only got a 3.5 mortality rate. Okay? It doesn't make sense to me. We shouldn't be banning parties. We shouldn't. I mean, yeah, I get social distancing is it. I'm not gonna say I agree with those people who are protesting against social distancing, but seriously, like, they're just totally overblowing the situation. And I guess I'll talk about it later, but that's what I had to say for now, okay? Thanks. I hope you like this new format. You know, me talking to you guys, a voiceover instead of, like, me talking to a camera. It's the first time I've done something like this, but I hope you guys like it. Anyways, peace out, motherfuckers.